and welcome to the 10th in a series of online Scottish music workshops to mark the 125th anniversary of the Glen Collection. I'm Ronnie Gibson, a scholar performer of Scots fiddle music based in Aberdeen, Scotland. We'll be live on YouTube at this time every Monday and Thursday throughout August, exploring some of the finest Scottish dance music as chosen by John Glen in his two tune books published in 1891 and 1895. You'll find more information and links to free sheet music downloads at glencollection125.wordpress.com, where, if wished, you can also make a contribution to my virtual tips jar via PayPal. Thanks to everyone who's contributed. In this video, we'll workshop two sets, the 73rd and 79th pairs of tunes. Now we're over into the second book now. I know the 73rd set is the first set of tunes in book 2, and what would that make the 79th? Seventh. First and seventh pairs of sets is found in the second book. Good. Now you can use the chat bar during the live broadcast to make comments or ask questions, and do let us know you're there. Nice to see some friendly faces: Francois, Jane, Maura, Leslie, Iona. Hello everyone, thanks for taking part. It's good to have you. Right, so set 73, Miss C. Elphinstone and Mrs. Leith of Glenkendys. Right, let's start with the Strathspey, Miss C. Elphinstone. Let's try it without ornamentation, but just with the rhythm as printed. Nice and steady. One, two, three, and four. And again. There you go, it's a lovely wee tune. Back to A major, the fiddler's key. Now, I found myself using quite a lot of fourth finger throughout this first measure, certainly. In the first bar, you've got the open A at the start of the bar. That's fine, but the following A's, so the fifth note and the ninth note in the bar, those are A's. I tend to play them with the fourth finger, and it's a bit less than just preference, because it helps, particularly the final two notes in the bar, it helps you go for that high third finger on the G without having to jump a string. Let's just try the first bar with suggested fourth fingers on the fifth and ninth notes. So the first bar, here we go, 3 and 4. Good, so we're going 2, open, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, 4. I'll do the fingers, you do the playing. 3 and 4. 2, open, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, 4. Good, now I'll join in. 3 and 4. And we should stick that final note in, because that's the reason for the 4. Once more. And 4. And you'll find, for this sort of wide hand position that we need, that if you just slide your thumb up the neck a little bit, so it's usually here, right? And it's an awkward angle. if you just slide it up a little, you can then get the stretch and still keep your fingers fairly high. Right, here we go. A couple more times. 3 and 4. Once more. And 4. There we go. Now, in the third bar, I also find myself using a fourth finger on that third note. It's a quaver E. So we're in bar 3, the third note. It's a quaver E. I stick my fourth down. That is more preference. It just feels a bit neater. If you play it with an open, it certainly gives it much more energy. It's just I prefer to dampen the brightness of it. So 4 there, and then into the fourth bar, another fourth finger on the second note. It's a dotted quaver E. Bar 4, note 2. It's a dotted quaver E. I find myself sticking a 4 down there. And again, that's purely preference. So it's up to you. But let's just try bars 3 and 4. The upbeat to bar 3. Here we go. 3 and 4. Again, upbeat to bar 3 and 4. I think because the precedent's set in bar 1 to use the fourth finger for the A, I just get into the habit of it. It's more necessary, I'd say, in the first bar and optional. But of course, it's all optional, so don't lose any sleep. Okay, once more, and then we'll look at the ornamentation. From the top, 3 and 4. And again. Good. One other thing before we move on to the ornamentation. At the end of bar 2, we've got this huge leap from the low B, which is a second finger on the G, to a high D, a third finger on the A. And although it's marked as a legato slur, you really do have to stop the bow. So you're going second bar, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, up, with a stop in the middle of that last bow. Up, up. Let's just try the second bar. 2, 3, and 4. That's the idea. The snap at the start of the second bar, and it's the same when the snap comes at the start of the fourth bar. It needs to be very firm. So you need a lot of weight from the bow, so you get that bite. And if you're in slow motion, it sounds like this, but it's so short that it doesn't come through. So if you're wondering what kind of pressure you need on the bow, just an excess of pressure is the answer. Right, ornamentation. The first bar starts with what could be a unison. A unison is when you play the open string, and then on the string below, a high 3 and then a 4. And it gets its name because the 4 on the string below with the string above is the same pitch, so they're in unison. Here, you don't need to use the fourth finger. You just play 3 on the D with an open above on the A, and then go to the open A. So the with the upbeat, so it's like the note is in 2 quavers. The first quaver of the note is the G sharp with the A, and the second quaver is just the A. I'll tell you what, let's try it like this. Without the double stopping. So we're going C sharp, G sharp, A, 2 and 3. Again. Again. That's what it is, except when you're playing the G, you're also playing the open A. There we go. And in context, it's just a bit quicker. To get a bit of grit at the start. Now we've got an ornament in bar 2 on beat 2. It's just a second finger flick fiddles. Let's try bar 2 with the ornament. 3, 4. Again, 4. One last time, 3, 4. Looking to bar 3, we've got another ornament on beat 4. It's a third finger flick fiddles. Let's just try that. Upbeat to bar 3 with the ornament. 3, 4. And again, 4. Yes, it helps if I look at the music. 3, 4. Good. The only other thing to say concerns the groups of 4 semiquavers. Yes, you knew it was coming. Don't play them equally. Just give them a bit of a shape. Hold on to the first. Yum, dee da dee da da da. Bit of shape, that's all that's required. Right, we better march on. Second line. This is the second measure of the Strathspey, Miss C. Elphinstone. I see Donald's joined us. It's good to have you, Donald's. Better late than never. Right, bar 2. Nice and steady, without the ornamentation, but the rhythm is it's mostly equal. Here we go. 3 and 4. There you go. Now it's a particularly violinistic idiom that we're working with here. If you look to the first bar, we've got these quavers, low, high, low, high, low, high, and you just need to work out the patterns of the fingers, which fingers are together, which are apart. So if we go from line 2, bar 1, beat 2, the C sharp, the fingers are together, and then the 3 transfers over, and there's a big stretch for that high B, and then back to the, and as ever, the first of each pair gets the weight. Yada dee yada da dee ya dee ya dee. The high note is like a buffer, like a rebound. Let's just try the first couple of bars of line 2. 3 and 4. good with a bit of shape to the semiquavers at the start. 3 and 4. That's the idea. And then it comes again with a slightly different ending. If we take that beat to bar 3, 3 and 4. It could be straight from Bach. The voicing is so beautiful. We've already got a high voice and a low voice. Dee-ya, dee-ya, dee-ya. And then we get to bar 4, line 2, bar 4, and we get the, in relative terms, the basso profundo. This will sound well on your cello, Jane. The low C sharp. Yum. It's not even a low note, but it's been set up to be that bass. Okay, upbeat to bar 3 again. Line 2, bar 3, 3, 4. When that F sharp comes at the start of bar 4, you need to relish it. You take that. It needs to be a broad note. You need to tease it out. Trum, paradum, paradum, pum, pum. It's not your polyester. It's your fine, rich velvet of a note. Give it a circle if you've got a pencil to hand. Right. Now we get on to line 3 of the Strathspey, Miss C. Elphinstone. And it starts in a similar fashion, but then goes somewhere else. Groups of semiquavers to the 4. Just give them some shape. Let's just try upbeat to line 3. So we're the last 2 notes of line 2. 3, 4. There we go. We'll look at the shape of the semiquavers, but just to carry on with this voicing that we're identifying. So we've got the high voice, the low voice at the start of the line. We go even lower. So we get to the sort of F sharp before. This is in line 3, bar 3. And then we go down to the D, the second to last note in line 3, bar 3. That is the apex of the voicing. And then we're back up. Quite perfunctory after all that majesty of the high voice, the low voice, and the profoundly low voice. Right, let's try it again. Let's keep it nice and slow. We'll enjoy the voicing and we'll add plenty of shape to the semiquavers. I see Jane's noted that the bass reverberates. Yes, Jane, I think I heard it across the city. There we go. Line 3 with the upbeat. 3, 4. Too fast. A bit slower. 3 and 4. Aha. There you go. Now, a little bit of ornamentation. If we look back to line 2, bar 4, we encounter a couple of things. A second finger flick on the second beat, and then just a hanging third finger before beat 3. I'll just play line 2, bar 4. So we've got second finger flick. Bar 4, 3, 4. And again, and. Once more, and. I don't know how much the microphone's picking up, but in case you can hear it, there's not bloody murder being carried on outside. It's just my daughter getting her teeth brushed. Once more, please, from bar 4. Hi, Margaret. It's good to have you. We're just finishing up the Strathspey, Miss C. Elphinstone in set 73. Line 2, bar 4, 3, 4. Yum ba da drum ba da yum bum bum. Last time, and 4. If we look to the third line, second bar, we've got a third finger flick at the start of beat 3. Line 3, bar 2. Let's just try that with the third finger flick fiddles. 3, 4. And again, 4. Last time, and. There we go, very nice. I see Morris saying, poor wee one. Your sympathies appreciated, but she gets her teeth brushed every night. Now, we've got another third finger flick at the end of line 3, bar 3. So let's just try just after this low D, which has to be relished. Let's go from line 3, bar 3. 3, 4. Good. So that takes care of the Strathspey. All these details, when you speed it up, they do get lost, but they're in there nonetheless. And when you speed it up, you find different things to delight in. Mrs. Leith of Glenkendys. This is the reel. It's a Petrie reel. I think between Petrie and Robert McIntosh, I don't know which is more common in the selection. I think in the book as well, they probably vie for this premier composer. Right. Mrs. Leith of Glenkendys. Let's give this a quick play. Regardless of the tempo, these rhythms at the start of each bar are like lightning. It could be very slow. It could be molto adagio. Di-trum, ti-da-tum. We won't go molto adagio. Maybe a larghetto. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And again. Like the snap, you need a lot of weight from the bow at the start of each of these bars for the rhythm. And it's lightning fast. It's like a tear in the texture, in the musical texture. Ya trum, ti ya tum, and then it goes along quite nicely. And then there's another tear. It's as physical as that. Trum tum. You need the weight in the bow to tear it across the strings. Once more, Mrs. Leith. 3 and 4. It becomes slightly less pronounced when we speed up, but nonetheless, that's the shape we're after. Right, second measure, line 2, without the ornamentation. We'll come back to that. It's a special case. 3 and 4. Okay, now the rhythm of the second measure is particular because we have the dotted quaver on the second beat, and that's where we want the weight of the bar to be. Ya dum bum ba ba dum bum bum ba dum bum ba da dum bum bum. Then when we get to line 2, bar 4, we want to pair these quavers. Let's just try that, and then we'll put it all together. So line 2, bar 4, paired quavers, 3, 4. So when you're pairing the quavers, the first one on the down is strong. The up is just like a spring. T, T, tum, bum. So you're sawing, saw, saw, saw. It's more like an axe, I suppose. Down, 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 down. T, ta. Line 2, bar 4, 3, 4. Good. Now, the point about the dotted quavers. Let's just try that again. So from the start of line 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, not only do you want a heavy dotted quaver, the semi-quaver that follows needs to be very springy. Rum bum ba ta dum 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 dee dum dum da ta dum dum dum. It's like there's physics involved. There are forces interacting with each other. So you get the first 3 notes of the bar, tum tum ta, and then the upbeat ta to the next note, tum tum ta ta tum tum tum, tum tum ta ta tum tum tum. That's the shape we're after. Line 2, 2, 3, 4. Now, just a quick word about the ornaments. If you've got quick fingers, you'll manage to fit all these notes in as they're printed on the page. But what I find personally, particularly at speed, is that it's easier for all these ornaments in the second measure to omit the first note of the ornament. So you'd have D, yum, hum. And then instead of playing, this is in line 2, bar 1, second beat, instead of playing C sharp, D, C sharp, you just play D, C sharp. So the finger would be 3-2 instead of 2-3-2. Let's try it both ways. Let's try it as printed, nice and steady, with the ornaments. From line 2, 2, 3, 4. Now, just the second note of each ornament. 2, 3, 4. It's a very minor detail. It's a few steps more challenging when you try to play the 2-note ornament. It does make it a bit easier just playing the second note, but it depends how much of a challenge you want and how quick your fingers react. It's worth pointing out that in line 2, bar 2, the second note of the ornament, the E, should be played with the 4th finger. Don't try and play it on the open. That will make it inestimably more difficult. And it's the same in line 3, bar 2, the second note of the ornament there, 4th finger. Right, and also, just before we do the playthrough, Mrs. Leith, line 3, bar 3, pair those quavers. Yada, dee da, 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 dee da, bum, 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 something like that. Okay, here we go. Let's give it a run. Set 73. It's the first set in book 2 for anyone that's following. Strathspey, Miss C, Elphinstone, and the real This is Leith of Glenkendys at a steady pace. Yum rum dum ba dee dum bum rum ba dum. It works. 2, 3, 4. Very good. What do you think? And now a bit quicker. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. Phew, Jane says. Yes, absolutely. A couple of things that occurred to me. Interestingly, when I was playing the Strathspey at the slower speed, the fourth finger in bars 3 and 4 was quite natural. I found when I sped it up, the open string came more readily. That's curious. And just to reinforce the point in the reel, when we have the paired quavers in line 2, bar 4, and then line 3, bar 3, if you can get into the lower third of the bow fiddles, you can really chop them out. It sounds very effective. Anyway, what I was saying, excellent set. Yes, absolutely. It's a stonker. It was probably, quite astutely placed as the first set in his second book. When you think about how you maybe use a book of music, you open it up and you start at the beginning, like a novel. So at least many users of the book will have done. So it makes sense to open with your strongest set, and this is definitely a strong set. We played it at the Strathspey and Reel a couple of terms ago, not in this combination, but this is where it came from. Right, good. Okay, we're marching on. Set 79, Lady Charlotte Bruce and the Perth-Shire Hunt. The Perth-Shire Hunt, the Reel, has the distinction of being composed by a lady, Miss Sterling. It's in such a sort of male-dominated repertoire. It's problematic in this day and age, but here's something to try and redress the balance. the tunes, of course, are overwhelmingly dedicated to women. It's an imbalance of power. Right, the Strathspey, Lady Charlotte Bruce. Let's try this with equal quavers. This is significant. Equal quavers, no ornaments. Nice and slow. After 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And again. This is a prototype for what Skinner called an heroic. Well, he called it an heroic pastoral, but even as a Strathspey, it has a certain quality of the march about it. The broad sort of A major character as well. Before we add in the rhythm, let's add the ornaments. There's only 2 and they're identical. It's in the first bar. You just get that flourish up to the 3rd note. Let's try just those first 5 notes. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yes, and again, 3, 4. Last time, and. It's almost like the rhythm in the previous reel, where you've got the 2 semis and the quaver. Yum-pa, yum-pa. It's a tear across the strings. Once more. 3, 4. That's the idea. It comes in bar 3. The rhythm's slightly different, but we'll get to that when we add the rhythm. Right. Once more then. Equal quavers with the ornaments. This is set 79, the Strathspey, Lady Charlotte Bruce. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And again. Right, let's add in the rhythm. Slightly slower. 3 and 4. And again. The trick about these dotted rhythms is that the semiquaver has to be springy as an upbeat to the next note. Don't try and pair them long, short. Don't try and pair them dotted quaver, semiquaver. You need to pair them with a dotted quaver on its own, and then semiquaver, dotted quaver. Yum, da-dum, da-dum. That's the only way it works. In so many of these tunes, the rhythm has been misunderstood, or players haven't engaged with them. They'll say, "Oh, this rhythm feels strange. It doesn't sound right. I need to change it." And they're welcome to do it. But if you engage with it in its own terms and find the solution, find the key that unlocks what might seem like a strange rhythm, you'll feel the benefit for it. So that's the key to this one. When I first played it, it seemed strange. But if you get the short long, It should work. Let's try it again, a bit quicker. Lecture over. Normal service resumes in 5, 4, 3, and 4. And again. There you have it. Right. Second measure. Set 79. Lady Charlotte Bruce, line 2. No ornaments, equal quavers. 3 and 4. A couple of instances of the straight slur, line 2, bar 4. Now, I've talked before about the realization I had that the straight slur was only introduced from about the mid 19th century. This is all late 18th century stuff. And the argument might be made, well, it's traditional music. So that had just been passed down from the 18th century to Peter Mill in the 19th century, who first sort of used it in print. Maybe not. So if you're a purist, you'll forgive my use of the straight slur, and if you're a neo-19th century traditionalist, you'll rejoice in the use of the straight slur. Just ignore me. But once more, equal quavers. I tell you what, let's add in the ornaments here. We'll look at it bar at a time, but keep the quavers equal. That's line 2, bar 1. Here we go. Let's just try that. 3 and 4. And again, so we've got the ornament on the second note of the bar. It's an unusual place, but it's in the source. And then on the fourth beat. 3 and 4. Last time, and 4. Good. Bar 2, line 2, bar 2. Let's give that a try. 3 and 4. And again, 4. At the start of this bar, the printed note is the F sharp, but you're starting on the E. Bar 2 again, line 2, bar 2, 3, 4. Then we have bar 3, which is as bar 1, and that takes care of the ornaments. Right, let's try this time, second measure, so Lady Charlotte Bruce, line 2, with the rhythm, but not the ornaments. 2, 3, 4. Let's just do that again. That was a bit fast. A bit slower. 3 and 4. add the ornaments, just a quick word about the second to last bar with the staccato. You just have to be very dainty. The bowing, although it's down, up, it's one gesture. It's a sort of bevel shape, D, B, ba, like your at your workman's at the craftsman table, sort of chiseling out a divot or something or another. Let's just try that. So we're in Lady Charlotte Bruce, line 3, bar 3, 3, 4. So the down is strong. It's still strong, weak, but it's not as strong. It's not as bullish. It's just this little flick. Again, line 3, bar 3, 3, 4. And the second note of the bar, the A, is easier as a fourth finger. Once more, 3, 4. There we go. Right. Now we come to adding the ornaments. Line 2, bar 1. It's a mouthful. So we've got the third finger flick on the second note. The second note's already very short, and you have to fit an ornament in. It's in the source. And then the second ornament in the bar is a bit more manageable. Let's just try that. Line 2, bar 1. 3 and 4. 3 and 4. Keep the springiness. Don't let the rhythm detract. Don't let the ornament detract from the rhythm, because it's the rhythm that drives it. Trum, ta-tee, ta-tum, ta-tee. 3 and 4. As before, in the reel of 73, you can omit the first note of the ornament, and it will make it just a bit easier. Let's just try that. 3 and 4. It's tricky, but it's what we've got to work with. It comes again in bar 3 of line 2. But other than that, that's really it for the Strathspey. Let's just give the second measure a run, and then we'll look at the reel. So this is Lady Charlotte Bruce, line 2, 3 and 4. There you go. Donald, nice chord sequence in bar 3. Yes. I'm glad you think so, Donald. Anywhere you can fit a sort of sequential step. The bass line in the second to last bar. Yum, dum, dee, da, doo, very strong. Right. That takes care of Lady Charlotte Bruce. Perth-Shire Hunt by Miss Sterling. Let's just give it a little play, nice and steady. Dum, dee, da, dum, da, dee, da. 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got the barred first finger in the first bar and the second bar. In the second bar, we also have a bit of a barred second finger. and then back to the barred first finger in bar 3. By barred fingers, I mean when the notes require, when the first finger, the finger is required on 2 strings in close succession. So for this first bar, the first finger sits quite nicely just over both strings for the duration. Can't see it on the dum. It's over both strings. Da da dee, da da da. Just keep it down, as if it's a tack that's gone into the fingerboard. Let's try it again with this in mind. 3 and 4. This is a reel where you're pairing practically all the quavers. T da T da T da T. Let's try one more time. 2, 3, 4. And again. Anyone who's played Alwyn's Scottish dances for orchestra will be familiar with Perth-Shire Hunt. It's a clarinet melody. I remember playing it in youth orchestra, and the poor clarinetist had this big red face because he needs a drum. It fits the fiddle much better than the clarinet, in my opinion. Right, anyway. Perth-Shire Hunt, the real Perth-Shire Hunt by Miss Sterling. Line 2. Yum bum bum dee da dum. 1, 2, 3, and 4. A couple of things. The bowing, the intuitive thing might have been to slur the first 3 notes as printed, but then slur the next 2 to get you on an even keel. Yum ba-dum dee da 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 da. But it's not that. You're slurring beats 1 as crotchet beats 1 and 3, more or less throughout. The only other thing about the second measure is the dotted rhythm that comes in line 2, bar 4, and then line 3, bar 3. There's a dotted quaver, and it has to be springy. Let's just try that place. Line 2, bar 4, the dotted quaver E. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 3, 4. Tum patata, nice and springy, nice and springy. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not just the dotted rhythm; it's the 2 quavers that come after. T tum pum p tum tum. Once more, 2, 3, 4. Last time, 3, 4. Now, if we look to line 3, it's really bars 3 and 4 because the dotted quaver comes at the end of bar 3. Yum pum 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 pa. So it's the upbeat into bar 4, really, that's significant. Let's go from line 3, bar 3 of Perth-Shire Hunt. Line 3, bar 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 3, 4. Let's just try the last bar with the upbeat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 4. Last time, 2, 3, 4. It just requires that bit of energy. Ta-dum-ba-dee-da-dum-bum-bum. I mean, it happens by itself, but we're in shining a spotlight on it. We might enhance it. Perth-Shire hunt, second measure, so line 2, and then we'll give it a run. 2, 3, 4. Good. Now we'll give this a run. Set 79, the Strathspey, Lady Charlotte Bruce, and the real Perth-Shire hunt by Miss Sterling at a steady tempo. Just keep the momentum going in this Strathspey. Think you might want to march on the spot. It'll help. 2, 3, 4. There you go. Now we'll try a bit quicker. What I'd like to do is play as we've been doing, a bit quicker, but play the reel twice. We'll play it quite quick the first time, but then we'll play it even quicker the second time. So we'll play the Strathspey once, a bit quicker, the reel again a bit quicker, but then we'll play the reel again. Furious. You'll see why it suits it. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Something like that. Anyway, that's about it. Thank you for taking part. And remember, you can rewatch it anytime by using the same link or searching on YouTube. The next live broadcast will be on Thursday, when we'll continue our exploration of the Glen Collection. In the meantime, take care and keep playing.